I didn't imagine Henri as a musician. The frame containing pressed flowers. Henri sure liked his clutter. It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. I needed to find a 4-digit number. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. There was a crumpled letter in the wastebasket. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company, demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business, but now I knew where he lived. The telephone was an antique rotary model. The handset looked greasy. It was hard to tell if the lava lamp was retro or just plain old. Henri sure had his quirks. The business card listed the gallery's details. I didn't need a business card. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. It was liquid ink. I had no idea they still sold this stuff. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid. The ink would have stained my hands for days. The switch controlled the small desk lamp. I didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it. It was the paper that Nico wrote for. Nico lived for the day her story would be on the front cover. There was nothing else in the drawer. The document folder had a hairy lobsters sticker on it. I had no idea what was inside. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was the security installation note from the company that Henri had used. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. The completion note from Vera Security. There was an address. Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. The trinkets, the junk, the instruments. Henri was kind of a hippie at heart. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. Oh man, the priest was right. Evil was abroad. That hideous creature sent a shiver down my spine. The woman in the picture looked vaguely familiar. The street was quiet. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. A naked lady stared at me seductively. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income. It looked like Henri had saved the best booze for the back room. It was a statue of Henri bearing almost everything. A strategically placed fig leaf protected his modesty. The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. It was a statue of... I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. It was the hinged fig leaf, perhaps the most creative hiding place I'd ever seen. The poster advertised the 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobsters. And there I was, thinking that Henri might have set such an obvious code. No such luck. I needed to find... The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I first thought. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. It seemed that whenever Nico stepped back into my life, so did trouble. There I was, looking at the exhibition. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malédiction from the wall. He knew exactly which painting to take. The moment it all went horribly wrong. Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd have done whatever the guy wanted. There was some writing on the front of his helmet, but I couldn't quite make it out. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane, or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera's security, who'd installed the system. That was me fiddling with the alarm. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. Not my best angle. That was the last shot. I'd probably learned everything I could from the CCTV. That was the most...
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I'm just looking for the name of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
Ah, to die for? To kill for. I put it to you, Monsieur... Monsieur...
Stobart. George Stobart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the owner in a fromage-induced frenzy.
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Time will tell, monsieur.
Truth will out, Inspector.
Who dares wins, Monsieur Stobart.
He who laughs last laughs loudest, Inspector Nave. The guy was seriously nuts.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Here, smell this.
If you think you can bribe me with expensive parfum de toilette, monsieur, you are mistaken.
Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
Look at these nail clippers.
Perfect for disabling the alarm. You are sticking your American nose into my little French noose, Monsieur Stobart.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, hein, pal? Monsieur, you are American, no?
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, It just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Smell this.
Oh, zut alors! I had an uncle who used to wear that. Maman told me to watch out for him.
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La maledictio.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. Do you want to borrow these clippers?
Word of advice, George. Never say that on a first date.
Well, the priest thinks La Maledictio is evil.
George, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Georges?
Yeah?
It's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life. The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera's security.